She allegedly assaulted, they said, a female security officer.
I would like to be able to let go now and let this go.
So right now, my positive thought is there is going to be no disaster to destroy what I have planned for me and my family. And if there is, that's life.
Diana Ross is 80 now, and her life is sad. For over 50 years, she was a music icon known for timeless classics and bold style. After more than 80 years of life and career struggles, she tragically faced a sad end. Want to know what happened? Join us as we delve into the surprising and sad reality of Diana Ross's life today. Diana's early life. Diana Ross, the talented singer and actress, was born in Detroit, Michigan on March 26, 1944, as the second of 6 children to Frederick and Ernestine Ross. However, due to an administrative error, her birth certificate has Diane on it, but her family and friends called her Diana. Her parents were Baptists, and she has siblings named Barbara and Rita, Arthur, Fred Jr., and Chico. The Ross family lived at 635 Belmont Street in Detroit, near Smokey Robinson. When Diana was 7, her mother contracted tuberculosis, and the children were sent to live with their maternal grandparents in Bessemer, Alabama. After her mother recovered, they returned to Detroit. Diana's parents got them a house in the Brewster Douglass housing projects on Diana's 14th birthday in 1958. Diana went to Cass Technical High School, specifically for fashion design. She also enrolled in other classes in clothing design, millinery, pattern making, and tailoring. She also explored modeling and cosmetology, funded by Smokey Robinson. Diana joined her school's swim team and in 1960 worked as a busgirl at Hudson's department store, becoming its first African-American busgirl. She also offered hairdressing services to neighbors. She graduated from Cass Tech in January 1962, setting the stage for her successful entertainment career. Diana's journey to musical stardom. At 15 in 1958, Diana Ross began her journey to musical stardom when she joined the Primettes. The Primettes were the sister group to a male vocal ensemble called the Primes. This connection was established when Paul Williams, a member of the Primes, noticed her talent and brought her to the attention of music manager Milton Jenkins. Diana was not the only one in the group. There were the Primettes, composed of Florence Ballard, Mary Wilson, and Betty McGlown, who had a relationship with Paul Williams. As with other groups, the Primettes were able to display their skills when they emerged winners in a talent show in Windsor, Canada, the same year, 1960. Talent scout Robert Bateman, an executive and songwriter, noticed the group perform, and he invited them to perform for Motown Records. Notably, Diana Ross's remarkable live performances at various events, including Sock Hops, began to gain recognition. In a significant turn, Diana approached her former neighbor and rumored childhood boyfriend, William Smokey Robinson, to discuss auditioning for Motown. Smokey, however, insisted that the Primettes first audition for him. He agreed to bring the Primettes to Motown on one condition, that they let him and his group, the Miracles, hire the Primettes' guitarist, Marv Tarplin, for an upcoming tour. This arrangement led to Marv Tarplin's long and influential tenure in Robinson's bands, which Diana Ross considered a fair trade. The Primettes also auditioned for Motown. They danced and sang in front of several Motown officials. Looking back to the history of Motown, Berry Gordy, who founded the Motor City Rhythm and Blues Company, was fascinated by the voice of Diana Ross singing "There Goes My Baby." This opportunity came in his blind spot. In other words, he almost walked past her. However, with their talent, Motown's head, Gordy, told the group they should complete high school before joining Motown. Ignoring this advice, the Primettes started to go to Motown's Hitsville, USA studios to support Motown recordings by helping with hand clapping and singing backup vocals. Lupine Records was a releaser of the 2 tracks recorded by the group in 1960, during which time Diana Ross sang one of the tracks. They were still having their practices. During this time, Diana also provided herself as a hairstylist, makeup artist, seamstress, and costume designer to the group. In late 1960, with Barbara Martin replacing Betty McGlown, the Primettes were allowed to record their songs at Hitsville Studio. Many of these songs were written by Smokey Robinson, who was then the vice president of Motown. These early tracks included Your Heart Belongs to Me and A Breathtaking Guy. While they enjoyed regional success, these songs did not become nationwide hits. In January 1961, Berry Gordy agreed to sign the group, but under the condition that they change their name. Florence Ballard, a member of the Primettes, chose the name Supremes, reportedly because it was the only name on the list that didn't end with "et." Diana Ross expressed concerns that the new name might be mistaken for a male vocal group, but Gordy went ahead and signed the group as the Supremes on January 15, 1961. Over the years, the group changed, with Barbara Martin leaving in 1962, reducing the quartet to a trio. In 1963, Diana Ross assumed the leadership role of the group's lead singer. Their first significant hit arrived in 1964 with Where Did Our Love Go?, which went to the #1 position and was all systems go for the group. 1965 marked when she legally dropped Diane's name in favor of Diana. If you thought Diana's journey to musical stardom was surprising, brace yourself, because we're about to reveal something shocking about her marriages to 2 white men. Marriage criticism. Diana Ross reflects on her marriages to 2 white men and addresses criticism that she did not address the racial and social implications in her memoir. Ross states that she fell in love with 2 extraordinary men and ignored the color of their skin. Ross is married to Arne Næss, a Norwegian shipping magnate, but the couple lives apart, with Ross based in Connecticut and Næss in London and Switzerland. They see each other about once a month and have 2 young sons who live with their mother. Ross also has 3 daughters, all in or recently graduated from college. While Ross enjoyed dancing at Studio 54 in the early 1980s, she claims to have never had a romance with drugs and loved to dance. Ross has not appeared in many theatrical movies since her role in The Wiz, but she did film an upcoming ABC movie called Out of Darkness about schizophrenia in August of this year. Ross describes the process of writing her memoir Secrets of a Sparrow as therapeutic and believes in personal growth. Now, Ross wants to focus on the second half of her life and plans to write more poems, as she considers herself a creator. If you thought the marriage criticism was surprising, brace yourself, because we're about to reveal how she embarked on her solo career. Embarking on her solo career. In May 1970, Diana Ross embarked on her solo career by releasing her self-titled debut solo album. This album marked the beginning of a highly successful solo journey. In 1971, Diana Ross achieved her first #1 single in the UK with the ballad I'm Still Waiting. The same year, she starred in her first solo television special, Diana, featuring the Jackson 5. Diana Ross also ventured into the film industry, landing her first role in the 1972 movie Lady Sings the Blues. The movie was a story inspired by jazz and blues singer Billie Holiday. When Diana agreed to accept the role, she was criticized but gave a splendid performance in the film. For instance, jazz critic Leonard Feather said that she was the best interpreter of Billie Holiday's persona. Her work that popularized her in the flick, Lady Sings the Blues, earned her a shot at a Globe Award and an Oscar in the category of Best Female Lead. The film's soundtrack also peaked on the Billboard 200 charts and sold 2 million units. Diana Ross recorded and released the song When We Grow Up from the children's album Free to Be. In November of the following year, 1973, Diana had her second consecutive #1 hit in the US with the ballad Touch Me in the Morning. The same year, she released her duet album with Marvin Gaye of Motown titled Diana and Marvin, which was well received internationally. She traveled around giving performances in 1973 and made history as the first entertainer to be invited to a meeting with Empress Nagako of Japan, the wife of Emperor Hirohito. In April of 1974, the Academy Awards was co-hosted by Diana Ross, and she became the first black woman to co-host it. He co-hosted with John Huston, Burt Reynolds, and David Niven on the show. Lastly, in 1976, Diana Ross had 4 solo #1 hits, wherein Love Hangover is a mixed ballad dramatic song that blends into up-tempo disco. Later the same year, she came out with her An Evening with Diana Ross tour, which was a success. The tour led to a 2-week engagement at Broadway's Palace Theatre and an Emmy-nominated television special of the same name. The television special included special makeup effects by Stan Winston and featured a scene where Diana Ross portrayed legendary cabaret artist Josephine Baker and blues singers Bessie Smith and Ethel Waters. For her exceptional performance, Diana Ross also received a special Tony Award. The Secret of Sparrows. In her memoir published by Villard, Diana Ross reveals a surprising secret in the final line of one of her many poems. There are no secrets, she writes. In person, Ross emphasizes this point in person, stating that she doesn't believe in keeping secrets and doesn't think of certain aspects of her life as secrets to be revealed. Ross discusses her life and career in show business in her memoir, but clarifies that it's not a tell-all book, as she has consistently declined offers to write one. After an agent saw Ross on the cover of Lear last year, Ross decided to write a more dignified memoir about her experiences as a pop diva. Ross ultimately took over the writing process herself after hiring and then firing a collaborator, and she delivered the finished manuscript, complete with her poems, in just 6 months. Chapter 1 of Diana Ross's memoir opens with a vivid recollection of her rained-out Central Park concert in 1983, where she writes about feeling a connection with the rain. "Rain, rain, and women were one," she wrote. From there, Ross delves into her early life in Detroit, including her family, her relationship with her loving mother and distant father, and her start at Motown as a secretary at 16. She also shares stories of her time as the lead singer of the iconic girl group, The Supremes. Her memoir touches on moments from her life previously discussed in other books, such as Mary Wilson's Dreamgirls, My Life as a Supreme, and J. Randy Taraborelli's unauthorized biography, Call Her Miss Ross. She insists that she did not seek revenge or dwell on negative experiences. Instead, Ross looks back on her life as a sentimental journey and wants to focus on the positive. At 49 years old and dressed in a black catsuit, high-heeled black suede boots, and with her signature black mane and lacquered talons, Ross exudes confidence and strength as she passionately shares her story.
So it's a nice balance so people can read what I think about and why I do what I do.
Ross's acting career is also discussed. Her films showcase a range of themes and storylines, but one film that stands out is The Wiz. In this film, Ross portrays the character of a black woman teacher who is essentially a coward when it comes to embracing change in life. In turning the characters into spiritual enlightenment and liberation icons, The Wiz helps the viewers think about their phobias and perhaps gradually learn how to conquer them. But when it was released, The Wiz met opposition. This might have been why it was beautiful. It painted a sweeping epic obscuring the highly personal arty love affair at the plot's core. One might also argue that the oppression aimed at a black woman could have stemmed from the fact that the movie was trying to empower her, which is a concept that is not supported by today's society. As artists, we are provided with moments to redefine culture and alter the nature of organized society. However, the latter may attempt to recuperate such losses and erase the victories of distinction. The Wiz asks us to consider how we can appreciate and understand a film that affirms ideas not always accepted by the larger society. If you thought The Secret of Sparrows was surprising, brace yourself, because we're about to reveal Diana Ross's most tremendous success. Diana Ross achieved her greatest success in 1980 with the release of the album Diana, which featured hits like I'm Coming Out and Upside Down. These songs became hits and affirmed her success and fitness in the popularity of a new generation of dancing masses. The same year, she recorded a power ballad for the film Endless Love title track with Lionel Richie, thus giving the singer her final 6 chart toppers on the Billboard Hot 100. During this time, Diana Ross was romantically linked with Gene Simmons, a bassist and co-lead vocalist of the Kiss band. They remained active until 1983. The activities of this political party were relatively scarce in the early years compared to the political parties of the later years. Simmons met her after Cher suggested they should be intimate, and he knew Simmons from a previous fling. However, Simmons said that he was in love with Ross at the time while he was still engaged with Cher, and because of this, Staples' friendship with Cher was cut off. In the same year, 1985, she met her second husband, Arne Nace Jr., a Norwegian shipowner and businessman, and they wed in 1986. During their marriage, Diana Ross became a stepmother to Arne Nace's 3 older children, Who Is in the Cabin, Katinka, Christopher, and the folk singer Leona Nace. The couple also had 2 sons with each other, and they were Ross Arne, born in 1987, and Evan Olav the following year, 1988. But the couple separated in 2000 after the media informed that Nace had an extramarital affair and had a daughter with another woman in Norway. Ross stated that she considered Nace the love of her life and did not have a bitter feeling with the 3 ex-stepchildren. Diana Ross has a great family and is a happy mother. Even now, she is a happy grandmother with 7 grandchildren. She has a daughter, Rhonda, who is the parent of the grandson, Rafe Hennock, who was born in 2009. In 1980, Diana Ross started engaging in the process of emancipation from her longtime record label company, Motown, with which she had been associated for over 2 decades. Motown agreed to give her $250,000 for severance pay. RCA Records extended a remarkable offer to Ross, a $20 million, 7-year recording deal, allowing her complete control over her album's production bumps. Before signing with RCA, it was rumored that Patti went to Berry Gordy, the head of Motown, to know whether he could match RCA's offer, but Gordy told her it was impossible. Thus, at $20 million for 5 albums, sparked by Frederick's take that a singer flopping at the predominantly white Hollywood Bowl wasn't very hot, Diana Ross signed with RCA on May 20th, 1981. The first album produced under RCA was Why Do Fools Fall in Love, released in October 1981. The album was popular and boasted 1 million copies sold. Some of its singles were hits such as Why Do Fools Fall in Love, her cover version, and Mirror Mirror. Following moving to RCA, Ross established her own production company, Anide Productions, Diana spelt backwards, and ventured into real estate investments. She continued to tour extensively both in the United States and abroad. On May 6, 1982, Diana Ross was honored with a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. She followed up the success of Why Do Fools Fall in Love with the release of Silk Electric, an album featuring the hit single Muscles, which was written and produced by Michael Jackson. This song earned Ross another top 10 hit and a Grammy nomination. The album Silk Electric eventually achieved gold status in 1983. Diana Ross explored a pop rock sound with the release of the Ross album. While it included the top 40 hit single Pieces of Ice, the album didn't produce further hits or reach gold status. In 1984, Diana Ross released Swept Away, an album that featured the duet All of You with Julio Iglesias. The single Missing You, penned as a tribute to Marvin Gaye, was also included on the album and became an international hit. Swept Away achieved gold record sales. Her 1985 album Eaten Alive, produced by Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees, featured the #1 single Chain Reaction in the UK and other countries. The title track, a collaboration with Michael Jackson and Barry Gibb, also performed well. The accompanying music videos for both songs contributed to their success. In 1985, We Are USA's charity created The World for Africa. Diana Ross was also included, and the song was sold in over 20 million copies worldwide. Diana Ross hosted the 13th American Music Awards held in 1986 and again for the 14th American Music Awards the following year. In the May 2004 issue, Diana Ross and her daughter Tracy Ellis Ross posed for the main photo shoot of Essence magazine in honor of the magazine's 50th anniversary issue. On December 8, 2004, Ross was called upon to dance in the Stevie Wonder Big Beat tribute during the Century Awards section of the Billboard Music Awards. In January 2005, Ross participated in the Tsunami Aid, a Concert of Hope television concert to help gather funds for the victims of the 2004 Indian tsunami. Later, on January 20, 2005, she released her MAC Icon makeup line in the beauty corporation MAC Icon series. In 2005, Ross joined Rod Stewart for a duet of the Gershwin standard I've Got a Crush on You as part of Stewart's album Thanks for the Memory, Volume 4 in the series The Great American Songbook. The promotional single received a rating number 19 on Billboard Hot Adult Contemporary. Ross also recorded a cover of her 1991 single When You Tell Me That You Love Me with Westlife, another hit in the UK, peaking at number 2 in the singles charts and number 1 in Ireland. 2005, Diana Ross was invited to the Oprah Winfrey Legends Ball weekend for 25 legends, including Oprah Winfrey, African American women in art, entertainment, and civil rights. The recorded portion of the show was then broadcast the following week in a 1-hour program, as usual, on ABC station. The televised Central Park concerts that Ross held with her called For One and All were voted as the TV Land Awards Viewers' Choice as the greatest music moment in television. In June 2006, Universal released Ross's shelved 1972 Blue album, which peaked at number 2 on Billboard's Top Jazz Albums chart. Later that year, she released her first studio album in years titled I Love You. The album succeeded, peaking at number 32 on the Billboard Hot 200 Albums chart and number 16 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums chart. Ross embarked on a world tour to promote I Love You in 2007. She received the BET Awards Lifetime Achievement Award and was honored at the Kennedy Center Honors. On August 28, 2008, Ross performed at the US Open Tennis Tournament, opening in tribute to Billie Jean King. She also headlined the 2008 Nobel Peace Prize concert in Oslo, Norway. Diana Ross performed in October 2009 in Arnhem, Netherlands at Gelredome Stadium, where she was the headline artist of the Symphonica in Rosso concert series. By 2010, she launched her More Today Than Yesterday, The Greatest Hits Tour, Michael Tribute Tour, which was very well received by the public and critics alike, and Jackson herself was seen wearing a Michael shirt. She was admitted into the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame in 2011. and in February 2012, she was awarded the Grammy Lifetime Achievement at 68. In May, a DVD of her performance in concert in Central Park was also launched. A week later, on December 20th, 2012, Diana Ross took to the stage in the Christmas in Washington concert that aired yearly on the cable channel TNT. The tours in South America and the United States took place in 2013, while in July 2014, she was awarded the Ella Fitzgerald Award for the Montreal International Jazz Festival. She also had the pleasure to present the Dick Clark Award for Excellence to Taylor Swift at American Music Awards in November 2014. In 2015, Ross appeared in her son Evan Ross's music video, How to Live Alone, and began a mini residency titled The Essential Diana Ross. The production, Some Memories Never Fade, currently performs at the Venetian in Las Vegas. Her album with Motown Universal, Diana Ross Sings Songs from The Wiz, was released in November 2015, with songs included in the musical featuring her alongside Michael Jackson. In 2013, Ross began her In the Name of Love concert tour, which was held in February 2016. She was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Obama in November 2016 and was listed 50th by Billboard magazine on the Dancing Club Artist list in December 2016. In June 2017, Ross headlined the Essence Fest, and in November of the same year, she won the American Music Awards Lifetime Achievement Award with her grandchildren joining her on stage. In December 2017, Ross released her fragrance Diamond Diana on the Home Shopping Network to go along with the renamed CD collection Diamond Diana, which peaked at 99 on the Billboard charts. In February 2018, she performed at Rain at Wynn Las Vegas. Though this was not a permanent gig, she continued to tour supporting the album. She scored another dance #1 with I'm Coming Out, Upside Down 2018. In August 2018, she appeared at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. According to the data provided by Billboard, by December 2018, Diana was the third most successful dance club artist. She was awarded at the 61st Annual Grammy Awards in February 2019, and her song The Boss 2019 Inches went to #1 on Billboard's dance chart in April. She was scheduled for Glastonbury Festival in 2019 to perform as Sunday Legend for the festival, acknowledging its 50th year, albeit this was postponed to the 2022 festival, having been confirmed in November 2021. What do you think about her tremendous success? Let us know in the comments. Supertonic mixes. Diana Ross's career has been a lasting one, and she has been a working artist to date with achievements and projects that define her busy career. In May 2020, she released a new project called Supertonic Mixes, which is 9 originals made and remixed by Eric Cupper. This sent her earlier classics directly to a new generation. It is also sometimes referred to as a mixtape and was released on compact disc and crystal clear vinyl LP in July 2020. In May 2022, Ross collaborated with the psychedelic pop band Tame Impala on the single Turn Up the Sunshine, serving as the lead track for the original soundtrack album of the film Minions: The Rise of Gru. This project had covers of various songs from the 1970s by different artists, an aspect that Ross participated in and gave it a modern twist. June 4th, 2022 will be something that will be memorable because of Diana Ross, who was the guest performer at the Platinum Party at the Palace in honor of the Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee. She also mesmerized the crowd on June 10th, 2022 during the launch of her Thank You UK tour at Cardiff Castle. A few weeks later, on June 26th, she graced the Pyramid stage at the Glastonbury Festival, giving a performance that would etch in the history of Glastonbury. The 32-year musical career of the American singer, songwriter, and record producer was marked by a US tour in June 2023 called the Music Legacy Tour, which featured her biggest #1 hits. This tour not only lets the fans listen to her ageless songs live, but also makes them realize that she remains one of the biggest artists in the world. Noteworthy, in May 2023, it was announced that Ross will sing in London's Royal Albert Hall on October 14th and 15th, thus confirming her role as the everlasting soul of music. Ross's influence spans generations and genres, inspiring numerous artists such as Michael Jackson, Beyoncé, and Madonna. Her impact is evident in various artistic works, including the character of Dina Jones in both the play and film versions of Dreamgirls, which drew inspiration from Ross's life and journey. Broadway productions like Motown the Musical have portrayed her pivotal role in the music industry, with different actresses embodying her, including Valicia Leakey and Lucy St. Louis. Ross's contributions, including hits like Stop, In the Name of Love, and You Can't Hurry Love, are recognized among the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's influential songs. As a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member since 1988 with the Supremes, Diana Ross has continued to be recognized with other awards such as the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1994 and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame the following year. Diana Ross has been in the entertainment industry for over 80 years. Her incredible longevity, coupled with the great impact she has had and continues to have in the music and entertainment industries, can only be described as phenomenal. Likely everybody knows her as the former lead singer of the Supremes. Still, she continued her inexplicable success in her solo career for decades, inspiring generations of singers. Not only the music, but Ross has also become famous for civil rights and popular culture. Her dual stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, both as a solo artist and with the Supremes, highlight her enduring popularity and significance in the industry. The dedication of Diana Ross Playground in Central Park and the naming of a studio in Queens after her further underscore her lasting legacy. While sometimes clouded by misunderstandings, her role in introducing the Jackson 5 to Motown and the public solidified her place as a pivotal figure in shaping Motown's success. Her close friendship with Michael Jackson and her influence on him as a mother figure speaks to her nurturing spirit and mentorship within the music community. Honors like being named the Female Entertainer of the Century by Billboard and being recognized by Rolling Stone as one of the greatest singers of all time show her incredible talent and lasting impact. Diana Ross keeps inspiring and is celebrated all around the world, making her a true legend in every way.